few things. The importance of geography for UPSC examination. And if you have any doubts, you can stop me in between, you can ask me. But you should not go out of this classroom with any doubt. Okay? Geography is one such kind of a subject. I'll teach you something today. And tomorrow, at the end of the class, you'll get the complete picture. And when you sit in the class tomorrow, you will again have some doubts. And the next day, it will be cleared. So geography is all about you should be clearing your doubts on a timely basis. और हर दिन कुछ ना कुछ डाउट्स होगा आपको, वो अगले दिन क्लियर होगा. ठीक है? क्योंकि ज्योग्राफी इज कनेक्टिंग सब्जेक्ट, राइट? सो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव स्टडीड ज्योग्राफी बिफोर? इससे पहले स्कूल टाइम? यस, स्कूल टाइम. व्हाट हैव यू रेड? ऑनलाइन यू कैन ऑल्सो कॉमेंट इन द कॉमेंट सेक्शन. सो व्हाट हैव यू स्टडीड इन योर स्कूल टाइम? यस. See, first thing, this subject of geography you have studied from 6th to 10th. कोई doubt? All of you have studied from class 6 to class 10th. If not, कुछ ऐसे state boards में it starts from 8th to 10th. ठीक है? So this subject is nothing new to you. It is, you have already dealt with that, right? Now first, you need to understand what is there in the syllabus, be it for Punjab PCS, be it for UPSC. The syllabus is same. ठीक है? The geography syllabus is same. Now you are supposed to read geography at the highest level. You do not have any options. If you are preparing for any of the PCS examination, then you also need to read about that state geography, which only takes hardly 5 classes maximum. ठीक है? But majorly you need to know the entire geography of India and geography of world. This is where the major chunk of the syllabus is there, right? Geography of India and geography of world. Now, how many of you have gone through the syllabus? ठीक है? Can you tell me the lines of the syllabus? Yes. Salient features of the world, physical geography. Very good evening, Suruchi and Ketan. Distribution of key natural resources of India and world. देखो, इनको syllabus याद है, बाकी लोग को syllabus देखा ही नहीं. Yes. See, first thing, what I want you to do is, you take the syllabus sheet, always keep the syllabus sheet with you. No matter what, दिन में रोज एक लाइन याद करना syllabus में. 50% of the solution will be there within that, right? So, I want you to keep completely a new book. I don't want your rough sheets to be writing. I'll give the notes in the class. ठीक है? Whatever I am teaching in the class, and whatever I am going to tell these things to do, if you do it, I am very sure geography में आपसे बढ़िया marks in the entire competitive examination no one can get. I'll give you that guarantee. ठीक है? Those students who are sitting in my class, I can give that guarantee to them that if you cannot answer, no one in India can answer that particular question. Right? Now, many students have what books to be read, what is the syllabus, what is this geography, till what extent we have to read. So today, all of this, the introduction to geography, I'll give you what is the syllabus that is there, the entire syllabus we are going to do it. Right? First thing, so can anyone tell me what is geography? What is geography? How do you define it? So he says spatial distribution of, yes, natural resources plus human resources also. So यहाँ पे जो spatial word है, what he mean to say? Space. ठीक है? Spatial is space. Temporal means time. ठीक है? Geography में 2 words हमेशा याद रखना है. One, spatial means space, जगह. ठीक है? For example, space, if I take this space as Chandigarh, what is the spatial distribution? इस space के ऊपर how the distribution is there with respect to natural resources? I can say that in this city there is Sukna Lake. I can say on the other side there are some industries. ठीक है? I can say there is Elante Mall. Human resource, natural resource is Sukna Lake. So it is the spatial distribution of natural resources plus human resources. Very good, very well defined. Anyone who can try to define what exactly is geography? ठीक है, शौर्या का कहना यह है, he says that study of natural processes such as continental drift हो गया, plate movements, earthquakes. ठीक है, I agree to you. This is also one of the part of geography. It is not the geography, but it is one of the component of geography. What he said is natural resources or human resources, it is one of the component of geography. But if you have to define geography as a whole, it is. So again, there's a new definition that is coming by Asta. Study of. Yes, online you can also comment. Please be interactive. Okay, study of geo shape, that is earth. Study of earth. Okay, I agree to you. But what do you study on the earth? Okay, how the plateaus and landforms, he says. She says everything. See, when you look onto the earth, okay, you have animals also, you have buildings also, you have plantations also, constructions, resources, natural resource, everything. So in simple terms, what is geography? Geography is the study of earth. That is very rightly said. But when you study this earth as a home to human beings, okay, when you study the earth as a home to human beings, that is what is geography. Okay? Earth as a home to human beings. We study geography as the This is what is geography. Study of earth as a home to human beings. Now in this home, you have industries, you have rivers, you have lakes, you also have man-made resources, natural resources, vegetation, wildlife, as well as multiple resources. Now everything that is there on this earth, you always study with respect to this little being called human. Okay? Now this is what is geography. We always keep human in the center and then study this earth. Right? If you are studying animals, environment as the center and then study this earth, what is that? It is environment subject. Okay? If you keep an animal in the center, okay, and you study everything with respect to this animal or everything this with respect to this forest, or their interaction and their human being. Now this becomes your environment subject. In the geography, this is given more priority. Right? So this is the fundamental difference which you need to understand. Study of earth as a home to human beings is your geography. Environment is nothing but the interdependence of these components such as human, animal and wildlife, forest. This is your environment. Right? So, इतना clarity आपको होना चाहिए. Now, let us try to understand how this subject of geography evolved. ठीक है? इसने कहा, sir, we have to study it spatially. Spatially means, look at this. Spatial means, let me zoom in to the city called Chandigarh. ठीक है? Let's go to Chandigarh. Look here. This is the city called Chandigarh. Can you study this spatially? Spatially means इस space को देखो, आप study it. How are you going to study? हाँ, टोपोग्राफी भी देख सकते हैं. ये मान के चलो ये चंडीगढ़ है, ठीक है आपका, राइट. इस चंडीगढ़ में दिस इज व्हाट इज योर सुखना लेक, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, हियर इज वेयर रोज गार्डन. नाउ spatially when I have to study this, I'll say that the roads are built in a rectangular manner, ठीक है. The roads are built in a rectangular manner. Then there is good vegetation that is present. Vegetation is, when I zoom in, I get to see clearly good cover of vegetation. What is the population? Population is up to 15 lakhs is there, but on the paper it is only 9 lakhs. ठीक है. Unofficially the population can be of up to 15 lakhs. Now this is what is studying spatially. Now is there a mountain here? If you identify a mountain, then that is what is studying spatially. If I say temporal studies of geography, temporal studies of geography means time. This particular area, how is it present in today's time as compared to 1950s, as compared to 1900s, as compared to 1800s? When you look into the geographical map of 1800s of Chandigarh, there's all forest. No, not even a single building is there in 1800s. The first building that was constructed in Chandigarh is Lee Carbuzer's bungalow. ठीक है? It is a museum today in Chandigarh. So temporally, how did it change? This is what also you are going to study, right? What is geography? Geography is the study of Earth as a home to human beings, right? You are studying this as a home to human beings, both temporally and spatially of each and every component, right? Clear? Now this is what you are going to do for the next 30 days, near about 30 days, right? Now when you go back to history and try to understand how this subject developed, see, initially every individual in the beginning was a traveler. You know why? For some resources. They always used to travel for resources. In the due process, you will see that when man started to move from one place to another place, they started to understand that, oh, yaar, this is a mountain, this is a plain area, that is a lake, and this is an ocean. One start to say that this is a mountain, plain area, or mountain area, plateau area, when the other person started to come and understand or question, how did this form? Right? One came and said, there is a mountain, plain, or a plateau. When the other person started to come and ask, how did this form? Then the questioning, the reasoning came into picture. Now what is this reasoning? Reasoning is, how are these landforms formed? How the mountain formed, how the Himalayas formed, how the plains formed. So broadly when you look into, today you think of India, you always remember this map, right? When you think of India map, this is how. Broadly, this is the structure which will be there in your mind. But for a geography student, this should not be the visualizing map. Rather, your map should be, there are mountains here. ठीक है? Chain of mountains in the north. Mountains here also, Western Ghats. Mountains on the eastern side also. Again, there are mountains in the central India also. Likewise, there is a plateau. Plateau is uncha ilaka, high-rise land. There is a desert. There is a plain area flowing Ganga through it. There is Brahmaputra river to it. So this is how you should be imagining the India map. Right? So broadly speaking, this particular map formations, you will be questioning how the Himalayas formed. How did this plateau form? How the mountains of the Western Ghats form? इसमें कौन सा पुराना है, कौन सा यंग है? Is the Himalayas first or the Western Ghats first? Or is the desert formed first? Or is the plateau of Karnataka formed first? Is the river formed first or the mountains formed first? Who will tell me, are the rivers formed first or the mountain formed first? So everyone says mountain formed first. Online, Ketan and yes, Surchi, Ketan, Nidhi, Suchitan, Tanvi, Parameshwar, Shipra. You can answer, is the rivers formed first or the mountains formed first? Students in the online, can you see me? Anyone, can you please open the device and check whether you are able to see me or not? Surchi, Ketan, Sukchen, Tanvi, are you guys able to see me? Not audible. I think now I'm audible, right? Yes? Okay. Only one screen or two screens? Okay, दोनों screens है. Yes. Okay. वैसे whatever I speak here, there's a 10 seconds or 7 seconds delay in the online. The cricket match which you also watch, there is a delay of one ball. ठीक है, one ball takes near about 30 seconds. So usually you have to finish 6 balls in 4 minutes. You know that? जो cricket, how many of you have the hobby of playing cricket? बताएंगे नहीं. Okay. So usually 4 minutes में एक और डालना होता है. So the score which you see and the video which you see, usually there is a delay of 3 to 6 seconds का delay होता है. One ball का फर्क होता है. वैसा if I am speaking here, there is a difference of 10 seconds in the online. Okay, let's come back. We were discussing about one started to question and the other one started to tell how they have formed. So when reasoning came into picture, then geography evolved over a period of time. ठीक है? This is the overall picture of geography. That is nothing but historians, when they started to move from one place to another place, they started to question how and why. ठीक है? And over a period, geography developed. So what that is history has to be learned geographically. What that is geography has to be learned historically. What that is history has to be learned geographically. What that is geography has to be learned historically. Because geography and history go hand in hand. ठीक है? इसीलिए when you study geography, your history becomes easier. You know why? Because if I tell you, when you understand the entire geography, you learn about history, that whosoever wants to come and attack India, they always came from this part of the region. ठीक है? They could not come from here. Why? Mountains. They could not come from here. Ocean and mountains. They also could not come from here. Ocean and mountains. But initially, when India was not known to anyone, it was this route. इसीलिए, in the environment classes also I told you, Punjab region, Haryana region, these people, they always were the ones who faced the invaders. They are the one who fought with them. इसीलिए गुस्सा भी ज़्यादा होता है उनको. And today when you look into the literacy rate and as well as the women empowerment rate, the female feticides यहाँ पर सबसे ज़्यादा होता है. हरियाणा में सबसे ज़्यादा है female feticide. You know why? This is one of the geographical reason. It is because when wars are present in this part of the region in the historical context, they don't want women in there. They always prefer men there. So why I'm trying to tell you this is because when you understand geography, you'll understand history in a far better manner. And I say always, geography is a subject which is acting as a bridge. It acts as a bridge between all the other subjects. If you have to understand history, either it is polity or it is economy, either environment or ethics, there is a geographical angle to it. So geography will act as a bridge between all the subjects. When you study this subject, you will be enlightened. Okay? And here, first, I would like to take you through the syllabus. What is the syllabus for geography, both for PCS examinations as well as UPSC examination? So he's rightly pointed out that geography syllabus, if I show you, this is the syllabus. Okay, I want you to write this syllabus in your first page. So Tanvi says that, sir, I believe rivers, then they push through the to make the meanders, hills, and subsequently mountains. So this is what is Tanvi saying. So let's see. So many of you have answered it that are the mountains first or the rivers first? So you'll learn this question, you'll learn this answer, you yourself will tell me after 10 days which one are first. I won't give you the answer today. But for those of you who said mountains, they are wrong. Actually, river Indus and Brahmaputra were there even before the formation of Himalayas. जो गंगा रिवर है वो थोड़ा बाद में बना था. ठीक है, actually the rivers are first, then the mountains. Rivers were there even before the mountains were there. Later on, as the mountains start to rise, river cut through them. Tanvi, you are exactly right. What you have said is right. So please note it down. Once you note it down, I'll tell you how to approach this particular syllabus. Now this is the same syllabus for all the, even for UPSC also, even for PCS also, even for any state syllabus, your state civil services you are writing, this is the syllabus. First one is salient features of world physical geography. और मेरे से एक रिक्वेस्ट है, अगर ज्योग्राफी में एक्सेल करना है, क्लासेस मिस नहीं करना है. ठीक है, यू शुड नॉट मिस द क्लासेस एट एनी कॉस्ट. अगर आज मिस हुआ, कल का चीज समझ नहीं आएगा. ठीक है, इफ यू मिस टुडेज क्लास, टुमारोज थिंग यू वोंट अंडरस्टैंड. सो देयर इज अ कंटिन्यूटी. मैं चाहता हूं हमेशा, बाय एनी रीजन, फॉर सम रीजन, इफ यू हैव टू मिस द क्लास, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, वॉच इट ऑनलाइन एंड देन कम बैक. ठीक है, एल्स थिंग्स विल गो अबव योर हेड. You give me this 25 to 30 days to me, I'll make sure you will become a pro in the geography with conceptual clarity, sound conceptual clarity. Once you have written, let me know. Done? Okay, see here, syllabus is like this. Salient features of the world physical geography, and at the prelims level also one line syllabus is given. Look here, India and world geography, that is physical, social, economic geography of India and the world. This is a single liner syllabus for prelims. Okay? This also please write it, prelim syllabus. Now this is the same syllabus for all the examinations except for Himachal. If someone is writing Himachal Pradesh examination, for them only Indian geography is there, world geography is not there. But rest of the states in India, they have both world geography and Indian geography. You know why Himachal Pradesh did not focus much on the world geography? Because they focused more on disaster management. Because there are too many disasters in Himachal. So they wanted disaster prone area hai, that's why they included disaster management syllabus. But any other examination, it is the same syllabus. Yes? Applicable hai, but they wanted more to understand the Indian physiography and topography. Basics are there. Basics of world geography are also included there as well. Now come back. Garmi nahi lag raha hai aapko? Where's the on it? See, look here. Now look at this part of the salient features of the world physical geography. Can anyone tell what is this physical geography? Study of oceanography, study of geomorphology, then climatology. Yes. See, physical geography consists of 5 parts. Now, what are these 5 parts? I know many of you might have attended my earlier classes. For them, they will be knowing this. What is this physical geography is? Physical geography means it is first one, geomorphology. Second component is third component, oceanography. Fourth component, biogeography. And the fifth component is this is what is physical geography. But alone physical geography is not your syllabus. Along with this, you also have, along with physical geography, you also have human geography. Now, what is this human geography? Human resource management के regarding, ठीक है, population भी हो सकता है. Next, demography. Next, political geography is also there. So broadly speaking, look into this syllabus here. Can you read these 2 lines? This line. Distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent. It is saying including South Asia. What is this South Asia? What is South Asia? South Asia in simple terms is SAARC. Southeast Asia is Indonesia, Baki sab, Vietnam. They are South Asia. South Asia means along with India, you see here you have Pakistan, you have Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh. Myanmar is also not part of South Asia. That is Southeast Asia. Sri Lanka, Maldives. Now there is a special significance on this particular topic, that is South Asia and the Indian subcontinent. Now what is Southeast Asia? Southeast Asia means from here on you have Myanmar, next Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, as well as Philippines, ये सारे Indonesia, these are called as Southeast Asian nations. So there is a special mention in the syllabus about this. Now simply understand one thing. If you have today's class clarity, then 50% of your burden will be reduced. You know what to read and what not to read. For suppose if there is a current affairs article which is saying that यहाँ पे एक mountain है within the sea and India wants to explore that mountain within the sea for resources. ठीक है? For resources. Wouldn't that topic be important for us? It is of high priority. ठीक है? Because it is part of South Asia and it says distribution of key natural resources across the world, including South Asia and the Indian subcontinent. They exclusively mentioned. Now in the recent times I have come across a current affairs article. Now today when you look into any current affairs article, if there is an article regarding ANC mount, ठीक है? एक छोटा सा आर्टिकल है, ये घर जाके पढ़ लेना आज, what is this ANC mount, ठीक है? What is this ANC mount? Recently there is a mountain which is present under the sea. Any mountain which is buried under the sea, which will be called as sea mount. उस sea mount का नाम है AN. AN means Afanazi Nikitin. Afanazi Nikitin sea mount. Afanazi Nikitin seamount. Now let me tell you what is this Afanazi Nikitin seamount. See, when you look into the syllabus and current affairs, अपने आप आसान हो जाता है, right? Have you written this? Let me take you. Look here. I am going to show you some news articles. Sensing China's threat, India joins the race to mine new sea patch. AN seamount 1 month ago. 1 month ago. Corrections and clarifications. This is 1 month ago. So, whenever you are reading current affairs, you should make sure that you should link topics. ठीक है? और हर दिन for the next 1 week I'll get newspaper along with me. मैं भी चाहता हूँ आप newspapers पढ़ के आ जाए. ठीक है? रोज न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ के आना. आप मुझे बता दो. You tell me what are the news articles which are there with respect to geography in it. Then I'll tell you is that a geography article, should we have to discuss it or not. Right? I'll also give the background regarding that. Now, what is this Afanazi Nikitin seamount? It's a seamount is nothing but if there is a mountain within the sea. See here, this is the AN seamount, Nikitin seamount. I have written spelling wrong, Nikitin. Now this Nikitin seamount, it is a mountain, very long mountain under the sea. On this mountain, you have polymetallic nodules. Can anyone tell me what are polymetallic nodules? Polymetallic nodules. Ever heard of it? Online? Have you heard of this word polymetallic nodules? Shipra, distribution of resources, very good. What is this polymetallic nodules? See here. इस बार देखना prelims और mains में you will find this word. Or Afanazi Nikitin seamount can be asked in the exam itself. How do I know? Because I've read the syllabus and this is the most relevant content which is there. Now this polymetallic nodules, or else there is also rare earth metals. What are these rare earth metals? How are they linked to polymetallic nodules? And what is this? Imagine this is a sea. And this is the bottom of the sea. There is a mountain. This mountain is having this polymetallic nodules. Okay? Imagine there are some polymetallic nodules. Each of this orange color is a polymetallic nodule. And what does India want, you know? India want to explore This polymetallic nodules which are present on this mountain, which is present within the sea, India wants to explore this. Now this is a news article. Don't you think that there are some minerals which are called as polymetallic nodules, which are also rare earth elements? Now prelims में यही सब पूछा जाता है. आज से केवल I think 1 month is there for prelims, near about a month or so. You see, you might come across these words in the prelims examination. Either they'll ask about what is the seamount, they'll ask about polymetallic nodules, or they'll ask about rare earth elements. अब आप बताओ what are they? तो शौर्य कोशिश कर रहा है what are rare earth elements? So he's saying that जो कम मात्रा में पाया जाता है, very little. Uranium, no. Uranium is not a rare earth element. जो आपने सोचा, it is right. Whatever you have thought, exactly opposite of it is rare earth elements. See, rare earth elements, they are present everywhere. ठीक है? They are present everywhere, but when you dig a large amount, you'll get a very small amount of that material. ठीक है? Imagine rare earth elements, they are present everywhere. Present everywhere means you dig here also, you might get it. But when you are going to mine a large area, you will get in very small concentrations. They are called as rare earth elements. Now, these rare earth elements are very hard to find. Hard to find in the sense, mining का खर्चा बहुत ज़्यादा है. Or you mine kilometers, you get a glass full of that material. It doesn't mean that it is not present in that area, it is present, but concentrations are less. Those kind of materials are called as rare earth elements. Now, these rare earth elements or rare earth metals, ये जो polymetallic nodules होता है ना, इसके अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. I'll show you. These polymetallic nodules are usually found under the sea. ठीक है? They look like this. It is a ball. Simply, you go to the base of the sea. Ocean bottom topography में जाओ. Imagine this is under the sea. You get balls of this kind. That too beneath the ocean, at the bottom. Now, first thing is, it is very difficult to mine. क्यों? Undersea mining. You have to go to the bottom of the ocean and then mine. And many countries do not have this technology. India is trying to build this technology. If the technology is built, don't you think that technology is important? Expensive भी होगा. Technology का patents भी होता है. That is also costly. Now India recently came up with a technology also. What is that? Samudrayan mission. Write down. घर जाके पढ़ लेना. What is this? Because these are current affairs. I just wanted to link how to take up the syllabus and link it with the further. Mission Samudrayan. Samudrayan mission. ठीक है? This is a mission where in 2023 and 2024, the India wants to send humans to space and humans also to bottom of the sea. That is what is Samudrayan mission. Right? Okay, come back. Now these polymetallic nodules, see, if I take one rock, इस rock के अंदर there will be multiple minerals. That's why it is said poly. If I take one rock, I'll have multiple minerals in that. Now that multiple minerals concentration is high. So, is polymetallic nodules में there is good amount of this rare earth elements. For example, you imagine this is a rock, and in this rock you will find multiple minerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now this can be copper, this can be aluminium, like that this can be anything. ठीक है? Now rare earth elements are usually in this polymetallic nodule. This is called as polymetallic nodule. In the polymetallic nodules, you find more amount of rare earth elements. For example, let's take copper. Copper कहाँ पे use किया जाता है? It is copper wiring, electricity, everywhere you use this copper. Now this copper, in order to get that copper, you have to mine large amount of area. But if you go and take up this polymetallic nodule, in the polymetallic nodule, 6% copper will be there. That is considered to be a very great percentage. In the normal areas, hardly 1.5% of copper you will get. But here, you will get 6% of the copper. Like that, there are rare earth elements कितने ऐसे रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स है, आप जाके घर पे पढ़ लो और मुझे बता दो कल. आई विल गिव यू अ हिंट. लैंथेनाइड्स जो होते हैं एफ ब्लॉक में होता है, जो लैंथेनाइड्स 14th ग्रुप एलिमेंट्स जो बोला जाता है, 15th या 14th, आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट इट, अराउंड 14th और 15th. ये घर जाके आप पढ़ लो. नाउ दिस इज हाउ यू आर सपोज टू लिंक करंट अफेयर्स विथ स्टैटिक. ठीक है, सिलेबस पढ़ना इसीलिए जरूरी है. दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई आई टुक इट अप. बट कम बैक, सी broadly what I wanted to say here is your syllabus, distribution of key natural resources across the world including South Asia and Indian subcontinent, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sector industries. ठीक है, factors responsible for the location of primary, secondary and tertiary industries, right? It wants to identify what is a primary industry, what is a secondary industry, what is a tertiary industry, and what are the locations that are responsible, factors that are responsible. If suppose, if I wanted to set up a steel plant, where would I set up in India? इंडिया का फर्स्ट स्टील प्लांट कहां पे सेटअप हुआ था? एनीवन? जमशेदपुर. ठीक है, जमशेदजी टाटा टिस्को स्टील प्लांट ही सेटअप इन जमशेदपुर. क्यों? वहां पे माइंस है, केवल माइंस के कारण सेटअप किया हमने. ऑनलाइन? यस. व्हाई डिड वी सेटअप आवर फर्स्ट स्टील प्लांट इन झारखंड? So basically, it is factors that are responsible for the location of secondary industries. Industries secondary means, see here, if you look into the steel plant, in order to set up a steel plant, you need labor, you need water, you need iron ore, you also need limestone, you also need कोयला, coal. जहाँ पे ये 5 चीजें वहीं पर स्टील प्लांट सेटअप कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. Now, these are the factors that are responsible for setting up that industry. Likewise, if I have to set up a cotton industry, where should I go? कॉटन कैपिटल कहां पर है इंडिया का? क्लॉथ मेकिंग, आप जो पहनते हो गुच्छी, he said गुजरात, लुधियाना. बेसिकली यू वेयर ऑल द ब्यूटिफुल ब्रांड्स. ही इज वेयरिंग यूएस पोलो, रिबॉक. ठीक है, ये भी यूएस पोलो, अलग अलग, गुच्छी, प्राडा. सी मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द ब्रांड्स विच आर इंपोर्टेड टू इंडिया, एक्सेप्ट फ्यू, they are made in Ludhiana. They are actually manufactured in Ludhiana, और brand का टप्पा लगता है बस, right? And for that name of the brand you pay thousands of rupees more. It is actually a small manufacturing unit by the name Himmat Singha, ठीक है, Raymond. They are the one who are the manufacturers of rest of the shirts also. Now why is Ludhiana textile capital of India? Likewise, टेक्सटाइल सेटअप करने के लिए ह्यूमिडिटी की जरूरत होता है. ठीक है, यू नीड ह्यूमिडिटी, गुड अमाउंट ऑफ ह्यूमिडिटी. सो दैट्स वाई टेक्सटाइल कंपनीज आर ऑलवेज सेटअप नेक्स्ट टू दिस सी कोस्ट, एज ही राइटली सेड, गुजरात, अहमदाबाद. ठीक है, अहमदाबाद मिल वर्कर स्ट्राइक, यू माइट हैव हर्ड इन द हिस्ट्री. अहमदाबाद मिल वर्कर स्ट्राइक. अहमदाबाद में जो मिल वर्कर्स था, ये जो स्ट्राइक है, दैट इज नथिंग बट योर टेक्सटाइल मिल्स. महाराष्ट्र में होता है, कोस्टल एरियाज में होता है. दीज आर द फैक्टर्स. इफ आई हैव टू सेट अप ए बैम्बू इंडस्ट्री, आई नीड बैम्बू. सो फॉर ईच एंड एवरी इंडस्ट्री विल बी लुकिंग इनटू व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स. ठीक है. नाउ दिस इज व्हाट इज ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी. ब्रॉडली इन द ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी, इफ आई टेल यू, इट इज दिस. 1, I'll be studying about population. I'll be studying about natural resources plus human resources. I'll also be studying about some kind of economic geography. ठीक है. So geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, biogeography, environmental geography, population, that is nothing but demography. Natural plus human resources, economic geography. This is what is the holistic geography that you're going to learn. ठीक है. अब where do you have to read all of this from? NCERT. ठीक है? I'll show you class by class which books to be followed. Look here, this is class 6. मैं चाहता हूँ सब लोग class 6 भी पढ़ना है, क्योंकि this is one such books beautifully written. Start from class 6, फटाफट निपटा लो. I'll tell you which chapters to be read and I want them to be read in an orderly fashion. ऐसा नहीं है पूरा book पढ़ लिया and then you're going and shutting this book and then you're going to the next book. No, it should not be like that. I'll tell you what chapters to be read in class 6 and then after reading few chapters go to the class 7 likewise, right? So start class 6 bhi hai. This is class 8. This is class 9 book. ठीक है? And this is class 10th. And most difficult book which you think so. Many students spend lot of their time on this book. 11th. ठीक है? 11th class में 2 books होता है. One, this is World Geography. This is Indian Geography. These 2 books are considered to be the fundamental books. You are supposed to read these 2 books in detail. Line by line पढ़ना है. And I'll also explain each of this line. If suppose you are thorough with these and this is the 12th class book. एक और book है. मैं अभी लेके नहीं आया. 12th class book में भी 2 books हैं. So broadly, in 11th class there are 2 books. One is World Geography. Other is Indian Geography. If you want, you can also look into. This is called Fundamentals of Physical Geography. And this is called India Physical Environment. These are the 2 books. You have to read these 2 books in detail. Plus, you are also supposed to read the 12th class geography. Now, this geography book is written with respect to world. And there's another book, 12th class में, that is written with respect to India. ठीक है? So, ये सारे पढ़ना है. उसके साथ साथ, I also want you to have any atlas. You can either buy this atlas or either this. I always recommend this. But if this atlas is not available in the market, then go for this atlas. What is this atlas? Oxford Student Atlas. I don't want school atlas. ठीक है, आप स्कूल की बच्चे नहीं हो, तो please go and buy Student Atlas. Or else, please go and buy, this is my first priority, that is Study Today Publications. ठीक है? You can also write it as Study Today Publications, TTK Atlas. Now this atlas is written by Prem Singh Meena IAS. ठीक है? This is written by Prem Singh Meena IAS. Now this atlas, why do I recommend? Because it is from the UPSC perspective, it is written. This atlas is available in the market anywhere. If you get this, buy this as a first priority. Right? Now, along with that, you also have this book by the name G.C. Leong. ठीक है? ये book पढ़ना नहीं है. I'll tell you if you have to read what to be read in this book, I'll tell you what to be read. Right? So there are 2 parts within this book itself. There is part 1, this is called as part 1, and this is called as part 2. Within the same book, you are supposed to read this, but not immediately. You will have to read this book little later. मतलब अभी नहीं, I'll tell you when to be read. If you are reading from the starting, then you may not understand. Only couple of chapters, triple of chapters, I'll tell you when to be read. On that day, you go and read. Now, coming back, how you are supposed to read all of these things. See, before that, if I go any more further, I should also tell you that each and every chapter which is there. Now, what is the significance of this geography as a subject? How many marks are asked from the geography? You see, for UPSC, I'll tell you first. Here, look, I've broadly divided the breakup. ठीक है? Indian geography, world geography, and environment and ecology. You see, Indian geography, how many questions? 9. Sorry, world geography, how many questions? Environment and ecology, how many questions? I think this logic I have already told you. 36 questions. Out of these 36 questions, with very ease I am telling you, if you come attend my classes and make the notes, 25 to 28 you will make it right. ठीक है? अगर किसी का ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल है, दे कैन ऑल्सो मेक 30, 31, 32 राइट. ठीक है. इफ यू आर thoroughly अटेंडिंग माई क्लास, 25 कैन गारंटी. बाकी मैपिंग थोड़ा करना होगा फ्रॉम दैट मैपिंग. इफ यू आर हैविंग ज्योग्राफी एज एन ऑप्शनल, नो डाउट आई विल गिव यू अ गारंटी ऑफ 30 plus. Now alone geography and environment will give you near about 30. Imagine 60 marks you can gain only from these two subjects. What is the cutoff of the prelims? Last year it was, for general category I am telling, last year it is 76 for the general. Now alone this particular subject will at least give you 50 plus marks. So इसीलिए I told you this is considered to be the bridge for mother of all the subjects in the UPSC. And for the state PCS also, you look into the weightage, the PCS weightage and your state PCS also, the geography has very high weightages. But level of preparation is same, everything is same, syllabus is same, everything is same. So you should be very confident with this subject. When you have the confidence in this subject, then the rest of the subjects become little more easier. Right? You can write very good essays. You can also make beautiful understandings, diagrams bana sakte ho. Overall understanding you will get it. So broadly, out of 76, if you can score 50 from these subjects, don't you think that polity, other economics, history, 20 marks, 30 marks, 40 marks easily you can gain? So cumulatively, easily 100 touch karte ho. So that's why those students who are having geography as an optional subject, or those students who are very good with geography, they are the one who are making their prelims cut off easily, clearing cut off, and then writing their mains. Right? So this should be your agenda. Now these are the books that you need to be read. ठीक है? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this is 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. This is 11th, Indian geography. This is world physical geography. This is 12th, world geography. And this is Indian geography. Again, human geography. So 12th class में human geography होता है, and 11th class में Indian geography, that is physical geography. 11th class physical geography, 12th class human geography. हाँ, I'll move aside. You can, if you want, you can also take the photographs. So this is how you are supposed to follow. Done? देखो एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल है. Look at this particular chart. There are only few optional subjects which will give you very good yielding marks. ठीक है? If you are writing PCS, you do not have any optional subject. But broadly I am speaking, if someone is writing their UPSC examination, and for them, look at this optional. Agriculture में देखो, how many students cleared their prelims? 124. ठीक है? Only 13 good students selected in that year. But look at geography. How many students cleared prelims with geography as an optional subject? 1916. ठीक है? And other good subject is PSIR. Either geography it should be, or PSIR may be 1662. So these two subjects students clear very easily because they have so much of understanding with them. Right? Now 100 plus selections, 100 plus selections, 100 plus selections in these subjects. So that's why you should be taking one among these subjects as your optional subject. Now coming to each and every chapter, how to be read it. See, go to geomorphology. How do you have to read? You go to class 6 and read these two chapters. Chapter 5 and 6 first. While you are taking geomorphology, हाँ फोटो ले लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. Yes, GC Leong book is not that easy. I won't recommend in the beginning. I'll tell you when to be read. After we complete 15 to 20 classes, then go and read GC Leong. ठीक है? Not all chapters. I'll tell you what chapters to be read. So this is the order in which you have to read. Geomorphology, first go and read chapter 5 and 6. So when I open my class 6 book, See, this is class 6. Chapter 5 is major domains of the earth, and chapter 6 is major landforms of the earth. Now rest of the chapters, they are not geomorphology. So first what we'll do, we'll go in the order. I'll do first climatology. Before that I'll teach basics of the geography. Then I'll go to climatology. Then I'll go for oceanography. Then I'll go for geomorphology. Then I'll go for oceanography. Then biogeography. Then in an orderly manner we'll complete it. Right? So these are the chapters you need to go and read from geomorphology. Next, if I go to climatology, go to class 6, chapter 2, chapter 3, class 7, chapter 4, class 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Please write it down in the same book, whichever you are having, ताकि बाद में आपको रिविजन करने में आसान होगा. See, my agenda is when you are sitting in this classroom, after 30 days, you will be having a notes, handwritten notes within the same class, and that notes you have to read it multiple times. I don't want you to refer that book, this book, this book. No. I'll give you 100% conceptual clarity. Now with that conceptual clarity, you will be in a position to understand everything in geography. Trust me, all I need is your non-absence of the class. You should be present in the class for the next 30 days. That's it. Right? And trust me again, if you are missing any classes, this subject is the easiest subject when taught in a right manner. But if you miss the classes, this will turn out to be a Himalayan mountain on your head. Okay? You will feel burdened, because when you miss the conceptual clarity, then you will feel that यार मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है, फिर मजा नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? आसान सा सब्जेक्ट है अगर रोज अटेंड करने के बाद आपका conceptual clarity हो. But it will turn out to be a headache when you do not attend 4-5 classes and then you come back and sit. ऐसा लग रहा है कोई गजनी का मूवी देख रहे हैं. हर 15 मिनट के बाद वो भूल जाते हैं ना what happened. You need to be remembered. So likewise this will be. Go to oceanography. These are the chapters. Class 7, chapter 5. Class 11, chapter 13, 14. Hardeep, just wait for 10 to 15 days. Your GC long book will become an easy cakewalk for you. ठीक है? I'll explain that. Done? हाँ, नोट्स बनाना चाहिए. ठीक है? नोट्स ही सब कुछ होता है. शॉर्ट नोट्स बनाना चाहिए. वो भी सिखा दूंगा कैसे बनाना है शॉर्ट नोट्स. I'll also get few short notes into the class and I'll tell you how to make that short notes also. और आप बना के मेरे से evaluate भी करना होगा शॉर्ट नोट्स को. नेक्स्ट बायोजियोग्राफी. क्लास 7 चैप्टर 6 to 10 पढ़ना है और क्लास 11 चैप्टर 15 to 16. 15 and 16. राइट? कभी बीच में क्या होता है, इफ यू आर फॉलोइंग द न्यू बुक में ना थोड़ा चैप्टर्स ऊपर नीचे हो गया, लेकिन यू हैव टू यूज योर ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस. ठीक है? मेक श्योर टू यूज योर ओन ह्यूमन इंटेलिजेंस दैट सर एक चैप्टर थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हो गया, अपने आप एडजस्ट करना चाहिए. ठीक है? Done? Indian geography, India physical geography. ये क्लास 11 में पूरा बुक पढ़ना है आपको. ठीक है? That is this book. And see, prelims में this is the most important book. If you read this book word by word, दिखने में बहुत छोटा बुक है. ठीक है? इतना पतला सा है, बट आप पढ़ने बैठ जाते हो, it will take 10 to 12 days to complete. Because this book is factual in nature. While you read this book, you have to keep the atlas aside. Right? Done? Economic geography. Online, please make sure to note in the same notes book में रख लेना. And I always recommend that you need to have a separate book for your geography. At the same time, if you're not having a separate book, please make sure to have sheets. ठीक है? Now that sheets in your notebook, I want you to write like this. ठीक है? देखो notes में ना आप, if this is your page, draw a line on the right side leave the space for current affairs. ठीक है, whatever you are going to write, you should write it here. अगर geomorphology हो तो you should be writing it here like this. Keep this space on the sidelines, right? Now why? For example, if I taught you about seamount, what is a seamount? If there is a current affairs article that is Afanazi Nikitin seamount, you write about that seamount here. Now after maybe 6 months or down the line, you will have static here and current affairs here, right? It's not that फिर monthly magazine पकड़ो, उस इंस्टीट्यूट का, इस इंस्टीट्यूट का, ये मार्केट में ये अच्छा चल रहा है, वो अच्छा चल रहा है, then you will get lost. So this should be the space and this should be the current affairs. I'll also show you how it is made by one of the student here. ठीक है, ये इंडियन फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी, इकोनॉमिक ज्योग्राफी आपने नोट कर लिया, ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी. क्लास 8 चैप्टर 6, क्लास 12 होल बुक. ठीक है, पूरा बुक पढ़ना है क्लास 11 एंड 12 को. Done? Online? If you're done, let me know. Please let me know in the comment sections. Class 8, Chapter 6, Class 12, whole book. Now, this is the syllabus. You might be asking, sir, Class 10 का book आपने mention नहीं किया. देखो, Class 10 का book जो है ना, this is one interesting book, जिसमें natural resources, स्पेशली ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी पार्ट है ये. ठीक है, जितने भी रिसोर्सेज है, जैसे वाटर एज अ रिसोर्स, फॉरेस्ट एज अ रिसोर्स, एज वेल एज व्हाट आर द ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज, द एंटायर रिसोर्स चैप्टर इज दिस बुक. सो दिस बुक, एंटायर बुक यू हैव टू रीड. ठीक है, नाउ कमिंग बैक टू द बेसिक्स, यू नीड टू हैव एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट इज जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी, क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, ओशनोग्राफी, बायोजियोग्राफी, इसके अंदर क्या क्या पढ़ाया जाता है, ताकि आपको आसान होगा इन द फ्यूचर टाइम पीरियड. नाउ मेक श्योर लिखना नहीं है, पहले समझना है आपको. ठीक है, वंस यू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स विल बिकम लिटिल इजियर. एंड बिफोर दैट लेट मी शो यू द नोट्स. हाउ इज नोट्स मेड? आई डोंट वांट खिचड़ी इन योर बुक्स यार. जब नोट्स बना रहे हो तो एक बार बना लो और डंका बना लो, राइट? See, again, this Rishabh is the last batch student. He is a very committed student. Now this student, he used to make notes like this in the beginning. ठीक है, जैसे देखो इनिशिएटिव्स, इश्यूज, और उनको लगता था ये नोट्स को मैं 10 बार रिवाइज कर लूंगा. बट इशू इज, इफ यू आर मेकिंग नोट्स ऑफ दिस काइंड, इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू रिवाइज. एंड करंट अफेयर्स स्टैटिक यहां पे होगा, करंट अफेयर्स कोई और मैगजीन में होगा, ऐसे नहीं है. क्योंकि एग्जाम में, इमेजिन यू आर गोइंग टू राइट योर मेंस एग्जामिनेशन टुमारो, यू हैव टू रिवाइज दैट एंटायर बुक टुडे. एंड in paper 1, how many subjects are there? You also have geography. Along with that geography, you also have other subjects also. Now, even for any exam which you wanted to write, if you wanted to finish the geography, along with that you also have other subjects, hardly you will get 2 to 3 hours on that day. Now, to complete that, you should have proper notes. Now, this student, what he has done is, after I gave him certain guidance, he changed the entire strategy of notes making. अब देखो, this is Big Bang theory. Now he has written keywords. What are the keywords to be written in the answer? And any current affairs which are there, which are written here. ठीक है? Likewise, origin and evolution of the atmosphere. This is the static, and this is the keywords. Plus current affairs. So like that, for each interior of the earth. Now this is the static part. You'll learn after 1 week or so. Now this is deep ocean mining. Now this is a current affairs article. This is related with this. अब ये आसान होगा ना, तो आई ऑल्सो वॉन्ट यू टू मेक श्योर at least one scale width or 2 scale widths of the nodes you have to leave it aside on the right side. ठीक है, clear? Or else you can also write in your plain sheets को इकट्ठा कर सकते हो, or when you are taking up the plain sheets make sure to leave some space on the left side also ताकि बाद में spiral करे, right? So like this he has made the entire notes and short notes also. Look at this, he has left the space on the right side so that he can add current affairs when and where. Daily newspaper पढ़ते हुए अगर कोई नया current affairs आया, what he'll do? He'll simply add it here. So I also want you to do this for other subjects as well from now on if you're going into any other domains. Right? Okay. Now coming to the first components. See, you need to know geomorphology में क्या पढ़ाया जाता है, climatology में what is there, oceanography, biogeography and environmental geography, right? And population, natural geography and economic geography as well. So you know the chapters now. Simply sit back and relax and read the chapters. Again, I'll also give you how much time you have to spend on each chapter. You're not supposed to spend hours and hours on the entire book. Look here. There is a limited time that you need to spend. I'll share this document with you. ठीक है? For example, geography and environment is there. If there is a topic called origin and evolution of the earth, this topic is present in which chapters and which book. I'll ask by the end of tomorrow 5 बजे से पहले ये अपलोड हो जाएगा आपका पोर्टल पर. ठीक है? But you should not share this outside. Remember, this is for you. If you are leaking it onto the Telegram, you will be at loss. Rest everyone, whoever is your competitor, they are going to take this and they'll make their preparation easy. So please keep it to yourself and do not make it to lose outside. This one plus one more I'll give you, that is for example, if you wanted to pick up geography and environment, how much time you should give for the topic? Because I don't want you to spend hours together and then sit on the topic and study continuously. It's a sheer waste of time. कुछ ऐसे टॉपिक्स होते हैं आधा घंटे से ज़्यादा पढ़ना ही नहीं है, not more than half an hour. बस the world population, not more than 30 minutes. Just give a glimpse of the content, not going through rattafai. You should not do that, mugging up. Right? Half an hour. Population composition, half an hour. Maybe human development, again, chapter is there, 1 hour. Not more than that. Likewise, geography and environment, I'll give you human development, class 12, 1 hour chapter. So this is how, now this personalized schedule, I'll give it to you. Okay? What you can do is, you can also drop a message directly to me. अरे कॉल्स तो नहीं, मैं कॉल्स एंटरटेन नहीं करूंगा, बिकॉज रात को 3 बजे 2 बजे आई अंडरस्टैंड आप लेट पढ़ते हो. यू कैन गिव मी अ कॉल. इफ आई एम अटेंडिंग आई विल अटेंड, इफ नॉट जस्ट ड्रॉप ए व्हाट्सएप मैसेज. This is my contact number. Just drop a message. I'll share this schedule to you. Or else, by tomorrow, end of the day, Ruby ma'am will upload onto the portal. Right? For geography and environment, I'll share this with you. Right? That is the maximum time which you have to give for each topic. If you are reading beyond that, that means आपका reading में problem है. ठीक है? I have myself sat down as a very basic, and I've also tried experimenting with the new students. इतना time देना चाहिए, कितना time देना चाहिए. So this is a tried and tested method. If you are taking more time, that means कुछ ना कुछ पढ़ने का तरीका जो होता है ना, उसमें प्रॉब्लम है, वो ठीक करना चाहिए आपको. ठीक है? Okay. Now, again come back, we'll quickly go towards what is there in geomorphology, what is there in climatology and all other areas. See here, when it comes to geomorphology, majorly these are the domains that we are going to study. One, we'll study about the origin and evolution of the earth. ठीक है? Please write it down. I'll wait. फोटो चाहिए तो फोटो ले सकते हो, but online I want you to write that. No, we'll start with basics of geography, and then we'll go for climate. Geomorphology will come later. Geomorphology mein, what we'll do is origin and evolution of the earth we'll do first. After that, the interior of the earth we'll do. Then landforms and other aspects we'll do later. Because landforms, I don't think it is right to do in the beginning. If I teach landforms, अगले दिन आप क्लास नहीं आओगे. It's not difficult. Because landforms, in order to understand landforms, you need to have basic idea about climate also, about vegetation also, as well as topography. So many faculties, what do? Is they teach landforms in the beginning, and it will turn out to be a bouncer for you. Once you have written, let me know. Done? One is origin and evolution of the earth. That means how the formation of earth, not just earth, we'll also look into how the formation of solar system took place. Okay? That is sun, moon, earth, asteroid, what is a meteoroid, what is a comet, and galaxy. All these things we'll look into how they are formed. Now this is what is class 11's chapter 2. ठीक है? ये सारे चीज क्लास 11 चैप्टर 2 में प्रेजेंट है. Right? So we'll start with this, how the earth formed. Next, major domains of the earth is nothing but plains, plateaus, mountains. ये थोड़ी देर के बात करेंगे क्योंकि उसमें confusions होता है. Then is landforms of the earth later. Interior of the earth, this is very, very important. हाँ, core होता है, crust होता है, mantle होता है. और how did we get to know that there is earth having core? Earth has mantle, earth has crust. Because the deepest mine that we have dug till date is hardly 12 kilometers. ठीक है? Where? Kolar. KGF वाला कोलार नहीं. Kolar Peninsula. And within next 3 days, I want you to buy everyone an atlas. Every day you will come to the class with the atlas. Online wale, you are going to keep an atlas next to you, and then you will sit for the class. ठीक है? So Kolar Peninsula is in Russia. ठीक है? Near to the North Pole, there is a peninsula. That is where the deepest drilling has been done till date. एक और South Africa में भी कोशिश किया था, but they failed. We are not able to mine beyond 12 miles or 13, near about 16 kilometers से ऊपर. We are not able to drill. Why? Because the temperatures are very, very extreme. Now, when the temperatures are extreme, there is no machinery that is surviving. So that is what is interior of the earth. Now, rest of the topics we'll discuss little later. Now, here, broadly speaking, we'll start with the origin and evolution of the Big Bang theory, and the origin and evolution of the earth. ठीक है? That starts from Big Bang theory. ठीक है? हमारा जो geography है, that we are going to start from the Big Bang theory. Now, what is this Big Bang theory? Yes. See, basically, it says that our life came from this theory. Earth, solar system, galaxies, comets, planets, whatever you name in the space, everything came from this theory. हमें पता नहीं है कितना सच है, कितना झूठ है, but this is the most accepted proofs that we have. There's a difference between hypothesis and a theory. Theory means which has evidences. Hypothesis means सोच है. I have a thought process. ठीक है? I can give a hypothesis saying that the earth came from my mouth. ठीक है? Or the earth came from some mythological stories. Right? Someone ate the earth as a ball and their tummy became so big These are some mythological stories you will come across. You also come across the mythological stories that a small kid became so large and then he took 3 big steps. ठीक है? One of the avatar of the 10 avatars in the Hinduism, right? So ये सब mythological stories जो है ना वो अलग है. Our geography always believes on theories. ठीक है? Theories has evidences. Now we'll study that evidences as well in each and every component. So this Big Bang theory, it says that our universe came from a small point. ठीक है? I'll explain this little later. We'll also study about each and every planet, right? And ऐसा क्यों है? Why are few planets rotating in one direction? Why are few planets rotating in different direction? ऐसा क्या हो गया अपना वीनस को पूरा उल्टा ही हो गया? ठीक है? And why is this rotating slow? Why is this rotating fast? But they're not questions that they go into this deep, but there are questions. Venus have inverted axis. But look at the other solar systems, planets, they are having different directions. We'll try to understand this. This is also part of geomorphology. Then we need to know what is asteroid, what is meteors, and then comets also. Plus, you also need to know about meteors. This is fundamental difference in all of this. We'll try to look into it. Evidences for Big Bang theory also. And see, how many of you have followed current affairs yesterday, day before yesterday? What is so special about the couple of days current affairs? एक तो elections तो चल ही रहे, ठीक है? Northern Lights, ठीक है? Have you come across the Northern Lights? They are seen even in Ladakh also this year, right? Kal, beautiful lights, sub Instagram and all everywhere you might have come across these pictures. So how are they formed? They are formed through a process of this. In fact, sun के ऊपर कुछ ऐसा changes होता है. There are some solar flares which are thrown out from the sun. Solar winds basically. The charge that is coming from the sun is reaching the earth and they give this beautiful colors. और इसमें green color है, blue color है, little pink color है. There is a reason why you have these colors. Anyone who can try to tell me? Wavelength की related है, no doubt. I accept it. But it is gases. Oxygen will give you different light. Nitrogen will give you different light. जब भी नाइट्रोजन के बारे में आपने सोचा होता है, डीप ब्लू कलर होता है, ठीक है? So there will be different colors that you get to see. These different colors are primarily because of each of this gas, which is present in the atmosphere. Now you can ask me, sir, ऐसा क्या है इन कलर्स और गैसेस का रिलेशनशिप? 4 दिन रुक जाओ, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा, ठीक है? बट अभी तो ये समझ लो, जियोमॉर्फोलॉजी में पढ़ाया जाता है, ये सब क्लाइमेट में भी पढ़ाया जाता है. सो यू आर गोइंग टू लर्न अबाउट इट. नेक्स्ट, व्हेन इट कम्स टू क्लाइमेटोलॉजी, वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी अबाउट द एंटायर एटमोस्फियर, ठीक है? विल स्टडी अबाउट क्लाउड्स ऑल्सो. जस्ट अ मिनट. And geomorphology में one thing which you need to fundamentally understand is, in simple terms, if this is your earth, right? There can be mountains, there can be a plain area, ठीक है? There can be a plateau, and there can also be an ocean. Right? So, geomorphology studies about the formation of each. How this formed, how this formed, how this formed. Plus, in order to understand how these mountains are formed, we have to go into the interior of the earth and then understand what is happening within the interior. ये जो mountain है, ऐसी नहीं बना. कुछ ऐसे changes जो है, there are some changes that are happening in the interior of the earth. Now that interior of the earth changes are also part of geomorphology. Basically, we'll go into the interior of the earth and then try to understand what is happening. ये core है, mantle है, and there are some movements that are happening. ठीक है, इसे कहा जाता है conventional currents. So we'll try to understand what are these conventional currents as well. What are the reason for the movement? And this will lead to volcanoes on the surface of the earth. ठीक है? So this subject is practical subject. ठीक है? आपको practically समझना होगा. देखो, अगर आपको कोई भी टॉपिक समझ नहीं आ रहा है, that means you are imagining in a different way. हमेशा when I say earth, how you should imagine your earth in your mind? अर्थ ऐसे नहीं, एक 3 डायमेंशनल में सोचना चाहिए हर एक चीज. ठीक है? एवरीथिंग, व्हेन आई से समथिंग, वट एवर आई ड्रॉ हियर ऑन द बोर्ड, इट इज अ 2 डायमेंशनल थिंग. यू आर सपोज टू इमेजिन इट इन 3 डायमेंशनल. यही है प्रॉब्लम ज्योग्राफी का. सो ब्रॉडली विल स्टडी अबाउट हाउ आवर अर्थ, विच वॉज वंस प्रेजेंट लाइक दिस, हैज मूव्ड over 250 million years. How did the earth shape took place, the continents took place? We'll study about it also in detail. The plates also, what are the types of volcanoes? All of this comes under the geomorphology. ठीक है? So broadly, this is what is your geomorphology. We'll also study about the rivers and the shape of the rivers as well. Got an idea? In simple terms, if I take this earth, whatever you find on the surface of the earth, there is a reason which is in the interior of the earth. अब देखो, if I am drawing an earth like this, just imagine I am drawing an earth like this. आपके दिमाग में कैसे होना चाहिए ना? You should imagine it like this. समझ गया? You should be imagining in this manner. If not, I want you to imagine in this manner. It should be like this. समझ गया? That's why I always try to draw earth like this. Why am I not drawing like this? Our earth is tilted like this. How much it is tilted? (23.5 degrees). From where? ठीक है, I'll teach this tomorrow. अब ये भूल जाओ. Basically, you should always imagine your earth to be like this. Right? 3 dimensional में सोचना है हमेशा. Right? Now, broadly, this is what you are going to learn in geomorphology. And in geomorphology, we'll learn about how the Himalayas formed in India, then how the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, mountains in the central part of India, how these formations and all, we'll look into in very detail. But for that, you need to understand the science behind it. When it comes to climatology, see, broadly, these are the topics that you will be studying in detail. Please write it down. Latitude क्या है, longitude क्या है, what is the latitude, what is the longitude. Once you have written, let me know. और कॉलेज का एग्जाम्स हो गया? Online, any doubts you can post in the comment section. ठीक है, I'll address it. हरदीप, एकता, done. So can anyone tell me what is a climate and how is it different from a weather? Okay, शौर्य ने कहा climate is एक एरिया पे temporal studies if you do, that is what is climate. Weather का temporal understanding if you are going to study, that is climate. In simple terms, you take Chandigarh. What is the weather today? How was the weather today? It's hot. In the evening, how is the weather? Windy. So before I enter into the classrooms, I got to see that there's a strong wind gushing around. And by the night time, it might be a little cold. Okay? Cold breeze, it can be seen. See, weather is a short-term phenomena. I mean, it can be cloudy, it can be windy, it can be rainy. But climate is a long-term studies. If you take Chandigarh and study this Chandigarh for next 30 years, that is what will be your climate. An average of daily weather for 30 years is your climate. So in the climatology, you'll study about everything that is there in the air. Basically, see here, you have seen that for geomorphology, you are going to study. There's a mountains, plains, plateaus, maybe oceans. This is what you tried to study, right? And the reasons for the formation. That means you went into the interior and then understood what is there. But for climate, you will go into the air. That means whatever is there in this air, you are going to study that. So climatology mein, specially you are going to study first 12 kilometers to 18 kilometers of air from the ground. This is where 90% of the climatology syllabus is there. Rest 10% of the syllabus is here. 10 to 12 kilometers height ke upar, you find a line which is called as tropopause. ये ट्रोपोस्फियर है ना, बचपन में पढ़ा होगा. ट्रोपोस्फियर, स्ट्रैटोस्फियर, मीसोस्फियर, थर्मोस्फियर, आयनोस्फियर, एक्सोस्फियर. वैसे you will study about troposphere in very, very detail. This troposphere, very surprisingly, you will see that it will be like this. 8 kilometers. At equator, it is 18 kilometers. Again, at poles, it is 8 kilometers की ऊंचाई पर. It is closer to the poles and lengthier towards the equator. Right? And the line which divides troposphere with stratosphere, the line which divides troposphere and stratosphere is called as, this is called as tropopause. ठीक है? So we will 90% of our syllabus is here. 10% beyond that. Right? So look here. If there can be a question that can be asked, why is troposphere important for humans? because humans live in the troposphere, right? But why is it important for human beings? Ozone. Ozone troposphere में होता है.
Concentration of oxygen is more in troposphere. As we go higher, it becomes more rarer, density varies high, and humans require more density.
Yes. Online, anyone would like to answer it? Hardeep, Ekta, Saloni, Suchten, Surchi, Ketan, Nidhi, Rupanshi, Singla, Tanvi, Shipra, and Parmeshwar. See, please try to be little interactive so that you will be participative in nature. Dekho, there is already a question which is asked, which says that why is troposphere important for human beings? Kyunki badal, clouds, they are present in this layer. 6 kilometers से 10 kilometer. Up till 6 to 10 kilometers is the place where you will find the clouds. Mostly. Some clouds are present beyond stratosphere, maybe. Milta hai. Very, very rarely you will find. Our aeroplanes, they also try to travel in the stratosphere. Likewise, rainfall, thunderstorm, climate, vegetation, everything is dependent on this particular layer. All the processes, the biosphere is where the life forms live. They are present here. That's why this is very, very important. Now, climatology, you will study about the various layers. Troposphere, stratosphere, then mesosphere, ionosphere, exosphere or thermosphere. That is how each layers. First, suppose if I ask you, where is satellite present? Where are satellites present? Satellites. कौन सा ऐसा लेयर में सैटेलाइट्स होता है? ट्रोपोस्फियर, स्ट्रेटोस्फियर, मीसोस्फियर, आइनोस्फियर, थर्मोस्फियर, एक्सोस्फियर. शौर्या का कहना है सर सबसे लोएस्ट लोअर ऑर्बिट सैटेलाइट्स दे आर प्रेजेंट एट 360 किलोमीटर्स. अब 360 किलोमीटर्स कौन सा लेयर में होता है? ट्रोपोस्फियर का हाइट क्या है? चलो, लिटिल बेसिक्स लेट मी टीच यू. द बेसिक्स आर लाइक दिस. इफ दिस इज योर अर्थ, kilometer, 18 kilometer. That is your stratosphere. Sorry, this is your troposphere. Now from here to 50 kilometers, this is 50 kilometers from the ground. This is your strato. Up till 80 to 100, this is your mesosphere. Then you have multiple layers coming up, right? So where is satellites placed? This is mesosphere. Then you have thermosphere. See, thermosphere starts from 80 to 400 or sometimes 500. Now within this there is another layer. Okay? Within this you have another layer. एक range होता है. There is a range between them. This is called ionosphere. If I am going to place my satellites here, ionosphere, which has charge in them, ions, ionosphere, ions are charges. So my satellites are present here. Low Earth orbit satellites. High Earth orbit satellites, they are present in the exosphere. It can be like this. They can go up till 36,000 kilometers. These are called high Earth orbit satellites. And these are called as low Earth orbit satellites. Low Earth orbit satellites हम किस लिए यूज किया जाता है? Why do we use them? We use it because communication. ठीक है, क्योंकि वहां पे ions होता है, radio waves, right? So this is where you will use all of this. Observation के लिए you keep the satellite here and you wanted to observe, right? So these are high Earth, these are low Earth. They are present in the, and these are present in the, basically हमारा क्लाइमेट जो है ना, I told you 90% of the syllabus is present in the troposphere itself, rest of the syllabus is present in the upper. So in the climate, the first thing that you will learn here is about the composition of the gases. ठीक है? So broadly, if I show you, what is the composition of the gases? So this is how it looks. There is troposphere, there is stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Right? Now, examiner will ask you, where does the aeroplanes travel? Examiner can ask you, why is that the aeroplanes are trying to avoid troposphere and they would like to travel in the stratosphere? क्योंकि weather phenomena is always present in the troposphere, so they don't like to move in the clouds. Clouds में the aeroplane will wobble, right? Turbulence होता है, thunderstorms, lightning हो सकता है, aeroplane can get damaged, electrical lines. So stratosphere एक clean area है, there they wanted to travel. Ozone layer, where is it present? It is in stratosphere. Likewise, you go to thermosphere, you have your low Earth orbit satellites, then exosphere. So examiner can get into these areas. Recently, current affairs if I take up, Project Loon करके सुना है क्या कोई? Project Loon. Google wants to take this project. They wanted to send hot air balloons into the space, and they want to send this balloons to the top layer of the troposphere or stratosphere, and from there, instead of sending satellites, balloons is very cheaper. Big balloons they wanted to build as much as the size of this, 10 times the size of these classrooms, and they wanted to keep these balloons higher. वहां से सैटेलाइट बना देते उसको कम खर्चे में. They can even launch these balloons in very tough terraneous areas. Very cost effective. छोटे छोटे balloons I'll send into the space, and from there I'll do communication. So these kind of questions will be asked. See, examiner always focuses on something which is life changing. If that project is reality, Bastar region में you can get to see internet. In the deep interior jungles, Nagaland will get internet. ठीक है? So that is how things are there. And one more thing, the first major component of climatology is the composition of air. ठीक है? I always ask this very basic question, that if I have this glass and if I am closing this glass, what air do you have in this? What air do you have in this? Oxygen? Only oxygen? What are the other gases? In this glass, if I am closing the lid of this glass, इसमें 78% क्या है? नाइट्रोजन है. ऑक्सीजन कितने हैं? 21%. That means in this classroom there is 78% of nitrogen in it. ठीक है? Nitrogen as compared to oxygen is a good gas, and oxygen is considered to be a notorious gas. Yes. See, बचपन में ना classroom में, when I was a kid, what they used to do is, if there is a notorious kid, they used to be made to sit in the middle, and on the right side and left side one good kid will be sat. ठीक है? So I was that mischievous kid in the class. So हमेशा to balance my mischievousness, there used to be a topper. I was also the topper in the school, but still there used to be a second topper, which is a good competitor. They used to make sit along with me, so that उनको लगता था this fellow will not be very mischievous. Like that, in the earth also, there is a mischievous gas, that is oxygen. Notorious, very notorious gas. And 78% nitrogen. Nitrogen is a balancing gas. See, even in this glass, if I am closing, 78% of nitrogen is there. In this glass, there is 78% of nitrogen. If I am taking a deep breath, do I also take nitrogen? No. ऐसा क्या है? Why am I not taking nitrogen into my body? My body has some filters. Likewise, there is plants that are there. They are excluding this also, and they are taking only 1% of the carbon dioxide. Plants take in carbon dioxide and they give out oxygen. So these beautiful filters which we have within them is naturally developed. But here we should learn that ये जो balance है ना, that if suppose oxygen concentration, imagine instead of 21, it went up to 45. Is it good or bad? Shaurya says bad. Why bad?
So it's highly reactive, it can cause fire, and our lungs are not adapted for so much amount of concentration of oxygen.
See, our earth has, as he rightly said, sir, it is highly reactive gas. Now you have this earth. On the earth, how many volcanoes are there? Lakhs, thousands, and in fact, within the oceans, Atlantic Ocean में lakhs of volcanoes are there which are active in nature. Pacific Ring of Fire माना जाता है, या you go to the Philippines, Iceland, there are very great continuous volcanoes फटता है वहाँ पर. So imagine if this is a volcano and 45% of oxygen is there. Imagine this is all 45% of oxygen. यहाँ का volcano, it will catch fire everywhere. To balance these kind of activities, we have nitrogen. Oxygen is a very highly reactive gas. So, more amount of oxygen we don't like. Okay? Our lungs are also not capable enough to handle that. We fear increase in the oxygen concentrations also. So, fundamentally, if you look into, there is another subject that is evolving over a period that is called as climate change. Okay? Some of you might have attended the previous batch में environment classes and all. Climate change करके एक छोटा सा topic होता है. What is that climate change? In simple terms, fundamentally, if I have to tell you, on this beautiful earth, in the last 200 years, what have you done? You have constructed industries. Now, with the construction of industries, what have you emitted out? Greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide. Now, did we not increase this 1% of the less than carbon dioxide is 0.03? Okay? That is the percentage of carbon dioxide, 0.03%, less than 1%. So that is the amount of carbon dioxide which was there on the earth. But in the last 200 years, what have you done? Industrialization करके एक process हुआ था. You might have heard about that. 1750s and 1800s, you started to construct industries. Through industries, what is something that comes out of the gases in the form of gases? Carbon dioxide. So you started to disturb this composition. That means today, if I am closing this gas, instead of 0.03, maybe 0.04 हो सकता है. ठीक है? So basically, yes, we have changed this basic structure of climate. Now, when that structure of climate is changed, the survival is not that easy for you. You might get killed. So, this is what is climate change, which you will be learning in the environment in a detailed manner. So, how to stop this climate change? This is what the world is looking forward for. It is said that by the year 2100, the average temperature of the earth. Okay, what will be the average temperature of the earth? What is the current average temperature of the earth? Current 15.3 or 15.4. Okay? This is the average temperature of the earth. By 2100, it is said that 17.5 degrees hoga. Up 17.5 degrees, if it is there, what changes will you see? Glaciers will get melted, then species will start to migrate from one region to another region. Man-animal conflict हो सकता है. ठीक है. देखो, कश्मीर में जो apples which are growing, they are growing just because there is coldness there. If suppose the 2.5 degrees Celsius is increased on this part of the region, will the apples grow there? No. Apple plantation will shift little more north. एंड हिमालयास में जो कोल्ड क्रॉप्स ग्रो किया जाता है, दैट कैन नॉट बी ग्रोन. Wheat which is grown in India, it will be moved towards Europe. So like that, there are a lot of changes that you are going to get to see. Fundamentally, this is what is climatology. You have to study what is happening within the atmosphere and what is happening, what are the changes that are going to impact. ठीक है? तो हमें आइडिया क्या होना चाहिए? Everything that is there in the layers of the earth. So we will be learning about them in a very detailed manner, right? So we'll also learn about clouds. ठीक है? Have you seen this cloud? What is the name of this cloud? What is the name of this cloud? चलो, ये तो देखा होगा. Feather type. In Himalayas you might have seen in the high reaches. What is the name of this cloud? It's not feather. Cirrus cloud. ठीक है? Likewise, this is क्यूमुलस. क्यूमुलस मतलब बॉल की तरह होता है, कॉटन बॉल की तरह होता है. नो, शेप के हिसाब से कंसिडर करते हैं, नॉट एज पर द वाटर. ठीक है? वाटर इफ यू टेक, एक्चुअली दीज क्लाउड्स विल लीड टू स्नोफॉल. नाउ दिस इज एन इंडिकेशन ऑफ क्लियर वेदर. यू माइट हैव सीन दिस. क्या है ये? बारिश वाला बादल है. बारिश वाला. फिर ये क्या है? See, basically this is called stratus. देखो लेयर जैसा दिख रहा है ना. This is called stratus clouds, right? So today it is all about the introduction into geography. I don't want to directly jump into the subject, so that you need to have an idea what is geography. Then you'll enjoy these classes. It is not content, it is just something which you have to relate to it on a daily basis. So that's why a small exercise which I am trying to do here. And one more thing, see, this is stratus clouds क्योंकि layer stratified है, layer है. This is nimbus. ठीक है? This is nimbus. Nimbus मतलब काले बादल जिसके अंदर रेन बेरिंग पोटेंशियल होता है. This is called, ये काले भी है, ब्लैक कलर भी है, और बचपन में ऐसे ड्रॉ करते हैं ना बादल, राइट? सी बेसिकली ज्योग्राफी इज एन आर्ट ऑल्सो. इन द चाइल्डहुड वेन एवर यू हैव टू ड्रॉ ऑल द ज्योग्राफिकल फीचर्स, एक कॉमन डायग्राम होता है ना, जैसे एवरीवन विल ड्रॉ दिस डायग्राम. बचपन में आप पक्का ड्रॉ किया होगा. दीज आर द माउंटेन्स. ठीक है? इस माउंटेन्स में एक बादल ऐसे ड्रॉ करते हो, राइट? अगर आर्टिस्टिक फेलोस एक सन दे गेट, और छोटा क्लॉक बड़ा क्लॉक, छोटा क्लॉक बड़ा क्लॉक, छोटा क्लॉक बड़ा क्लॉक. ठीक है? और आपको नदी भी चाहिए, एंड नदी कम्स विथ ए meandering एस्पेक्ट्स. फिर अब पिकअप भी करना है आपको. These are crops. हाँ, birds also. These artistic features are nothing but your geography, right? Sun, climate. See, what you are trying to show here, you are trying to show this clouds. The shape of the clouds, this shape is like a cotton ball. You call this as cumulus clouds, right? So the small spokes and big spokes are nothing but the wavelengths of the sun. Likewise, mountains, rivers, house, and the interactions. This is what is your geography, right? So broadly, there's everything. Now this cloud which is there, this is called as cumulonimbus cloud. Cumulonimbus matlab? Basically cloud star type hota hai. ठीक है? What are these 4 types of clouds? First one is बस. These are the 4 types of clouds. सबसे ऊंचा clouds, highest tallest clouds are cirrus. Next is cumulus. Then you have nimbus or stratus. दोनों interchangeable है. So basically, if I say cumulonimbus, cumulus मतलब ऐसे दिखते हैं ना. Cirrus means fair, मतलब very thin layers. Nimbus means black. Black color is called nimbus. Stratus means layers. If I say cumulonimbus, cotton and should look like black color. And if suppose this is the ground, look at this cloud. So big. This cumulonimbus cloud will give thunderstorms, will give lightning. Right? Whereas nimbus clouds, badal. This clouds will give you rainfall. So broadly, these are the 4 different types of clouds which you will be learning in detail in the climatology. So clouds are defined on the basis of their height. We'll discuss this in detail. और कुछ अलग clouds होता है. They are also called as noctilucent clouds. Now what are these noctilucent clouds? Basically, different colors you get to see. And these noctilucent clouds plus thunderstorms, that is what you're going to learn in the climatology. About how the wind moves, what kind of wind is bringing what kind of rainfall to India, and which wind will take it as a favor as monsoon. ठीक है? What are easterly winds? What are westerly winds? Now, what are jet streams? Jet streams are winds which are present at 8 to 10 kilometers above the surface of the earth. And how are these jet streams impacting the aeroplanes? ठीक है? During the Second World War, what happened, you know? Japan always wanted to attack the USA, but they every time failed. You know why? They are not aware of jet streams. Sorry, it is USA who wanted to attack Japan. Japanese already know about jet streams. USA wanted to attack Japan, but they always failed. While they were traveling in one direction, they used to move at a faster. While coming in opposite direction, they used to take 2 hours longer. This is because of jet streams. We'll learn about these jet streams in the further time period during the climatology. Oceanography, see, quickly write it down. Hardeep, class is not showing. There's Ruby ma'am. ठीक है, Ruby ma'am होता है. I'll tell you the contact of Ruby ma'am. She'll take care of all the technical details. Yes. So in the comment sections, I've shared you the contact of Ruby ma'am. Whosoever in the online, if you are facing any technical issues, just drop a message or give a call to Ruby ma'am. She will be the one who will be handling all the technical details. ठीक है, अगर आपको क्लास नहीं दिखाई दे रहा है या कोई इंटरनेट का इश्यूज है, मटेरियल इज यू आर नॉट एबल टू फाइंड इट, मैम विल हेल्प यू टू गेट ऑल ऑफ दिस. Once you have written, let me know. Shaurya says stratospheric clouds bhi hota hai. Yes, stratospheric clouds are also there. They play a very crucial role. Ozone layer depletion mein they play a vital role. I'll explain during the time of clouds topic why is that ozone layer depletion is only there in the southern part, not in the northern part. ठीक है, ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन जो है ना अंटार्कटिका में सबसे ज्यादा है, नॉट इन आर्कटिक. ना वाई? पोलर स्ट्रेटोस्फेरिक क्लाउड्स करके कुछ स्पेशल क्लाउड्स आर देयर. दैट पोलर स्ट्रेटोस्फेरिक क्लाउड्स, देयर इज अ रिएक्शन दैट इज टेकिंग प्लेस. So I'll tell you about that reaction in the further time. Done? See, in the oceanography, why do we have to study about oceans? First thing, when you broadly look into, you take all the water and you look into the topography. This is how our Earth, especially the Indian Ocean, looks like. In the oceanography, you need to know why is this plain area and what are these mountains, how they are formed, and Andaman Nicobars, how they are formed. Likewise, I told you about a seamount. A seamount, Afanasi-Nikitin seamount. So this Afanasi-Nikitin seamount, how they are formed. So various landforms which are there in the ocean bottom topography, you need to know about them. Right? Broadly, this is what. And you look here, Bay of Bengal is a large plain area. Arabian Sea is a small plain area. Why is this a very big plain area as compared to that plain area? It is because rivers. Okay? Rivers deposit so much of sedimentations here. Indus deposits less sedimentations there. So that's why. Along with that, if you go into the details of the India, in fact, it looks like this. Indian Ocean, basically, this is the ocean bottom topography of the Indian Ocean. Now, such a beautiful topography, why is it formed like that? You need to know. And let me tell you, there are more forests in the ocean than on the land. There is more volcanoes in the ocean than on the land. Likewise, there is more vegetation, life forms in the ocean than on the land. Diversity of lives also in the ocean than on the land. So overall, we are supposed to study oceans because oceans are considered to be the last resorts of our life. Every mineral that we are searching, one day you'll exhaust all of the land and then you'll go and search for the ocean. So along with this, there's some more important aspect that you need to know, that is the movement of water. In the oceanography, we'll also study about how the water moves. Okay? There are two waters. One, which is the surface water, around 300 to 500 meters above the surface of the ocean. On the surface of the ocean, 300 to 500 meters depth you go. There is one water which is moving in one direction, that is the top layer. When you go 500 or 1000 meters below the ocean, the water moves in a different direction. We'll be learning about how this water moves. And within the ocean, there can be mountains. This water can go and hit, and then they can sink. Now, this sinking can impact your life too. How these life forms are getting impacted because of this movement of the water. And this water will lead to the formations of deserts. You go to Africa. In Africa, western side, there are deserts. So the deserts are because of some cold water. There are some warm water. We need to see, where do you find this cold water? Where do you find this warm water? So overall, the circulations of water you need to know. Okay? Cold water will always lead to the formations of deserts. Warm water will always lead to the formation of rainfall. Blindly remember this. And you see, here you have cold water canary current. There you will have deserts. Okay? Just remember, cold water will lead to desert kind of conditions on the land, and warm water will lead to good amount of rainfall. आपने कहीं ना कहीं सुना होगा एल निनो, ला निना. ठीक है? Every 5-7 years there can be disturbances. Indian Ocean dipole, El Nino, La Nina. All of these things we are going to study with the help of this. Okay? Next, we will also be studying about how the tides are formed. High tide, low tide, umbra, penumbra. कहीं ना कहीं सुना होगा. Solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, different types of waves. We'll be studying about that. And lastly, the economic significance of the oceans. Look at this. See, if you are online people, if you are able to see me and you can understand and all, and you guys are able to talk well, or else hardly 10 to 15 years before, 20 years before, you got to see some good quality of mobiles. Before that, everything is through internet. Now these are deep ocean internet cables. Even today, the communications that are sent from across the ocean is majorly done through these cables. You should know in a very detailed manner about the ocean bottom topography. Right? If there is a volcanic activity somewhere here, will you lay your cables there? No. Now there is a different there's a departmental agency in the government which takes care of this. So if you measure all of this around the earth, at least I'm talking about 10,000 times you can go around the earth. That is the length of the cables that we have drawn across the earth. That too from the oceans. Beneath the oceans we have dug and we have laid these cables. Kabhi kabar shark will come and eat it. Couple of times this has happened to India. If the cables are cut down, then the entire internet shutdown will be there in the southern part of India or northern part of India. So it is very, very important. Even this sea route, you might have come across that. If suppose, see here, sometimes you will hear about the Houthi rebels. Houthi rebels are rebels which are present in the Yemen. ठीक है? Yemen, Oman, यहाँ पर होता है. So Yemen में they threaten that I'll destroy all of these cables. Right? Houthi rebels are people who are present in this part of the region, or else ISIS, they'll threaten I'll destroy these cables. Don't you think that the trade, stock markets, internet cables, trade between international trade, all these things will get stumbled? Right? कर सकते हैं. Current नहीं, internet. Optical fiber cables. Yes. Optical fiber cables. Current nahi flow karta. It is optical fibers are laid down. Deep sea mining, ocean cables. Right? So it is also very important for us. And I had also told you about the Samudrayan mission, in which Vayomitra, मैंने कहा था ना, that we'll be sending deep into the ocean humans. Right? So that is this mission. So broadly, you will study in a very detailed manner about all of the ocean, their bottom topography. And next is biogeography. In the biogeography, you will study these components. Soil profile. Quickly. You will study about soil profile. And one more thing, if anyone is thinking of geography as an optional subject, make sure to attend every class. Because by the end of this 1 month, your geography optional syllabus also 2 months of syllabus will be covered in the GS itself. Okay? If someone has an idea that they are thinking they wanted to go for geography as an optional, this is the right opportunity. You can also think as this. Maybe you can test pilot 10 days, you check whether you can understand this subject and take this as an optional subject or not. You can think and then also align yourself. So if you're planning in that way, take geography optional syllabus and sit along with the syllabus. See, near about 30 to 40% of the syllabus will be covered in the GS. Optional को prepare करने में 5 months. Done? Now coming to the soils. See, our idea is to understand soil profile. Soil profile means, if I am standing here, what is the profile? Profile is, from top to bottom, one needs to go and check. That is called profile. So basically, there are different layers in the soil. Now, when you study different layers, that is called as profile. Initially, soil is nothing but it has formed from a bare rock. It has turned into multiple particles, layers bhi hua. Now, each of this layer is called as horizon. Horizon. Each layer is called as a horizon. Now, soil comes from different rocks. The color of the soil is because of different rocks. But climate plays a major role here. For example, you look into black rock. This is basaltic rock. It will give 2 different types of soils. One, it is laterite soil, and other one is black soil. Laterite soil means which is found in the Western Ghats. Okay? In the Sahyadri regions. Western Ghats matlab jahan par Kerala, Karnataka ka western region. Black soil, it is found in the Deccan area, Hyderabad, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, western side. This is where you will find black soil. Basically, the rock is the same, but different climates will lead to different kinds of soils. Right? So we'll be studying about each of the soils and the role of these animals and the role of bioturbation. Bioturbation means the role of animals, how they are changing. What if you have animals and what if you do not have animals, that is worms. ठीक है? Earthworms, it is always said that it is the friend of the farmer. So we'll try to understand how this bioturbation is increasing the soil mixture and why is it there no bioturbation here. ठीक है? कौन सा ऐसा जगह पर you will find this kind of soil? First, suppose if the temperatures are cold, you will not find these animals. If the temperatures are warm, then there is good amount of humus, you will find these animals. The small microorganisms, they'll give you good soil. So you go to Himalayas, the soil is not good. You go to the extreme northern regions, the soil is not good because mixing of the soil will not take place. But here the mixing of soil takes place. Likewise, you go here, earthworms, rodents. So we'll study about the various roles, and the different types of soils, the layers of each soil. This is what is your biogeography. In this, we'll study in a very detailed manner about all of this. Different types of soils also. The next component is your Indian geography. See, in the Indian geography, we'll broadly classify each and every layer of India, and this is the topography of India. Okay? This is how literally it looks. As a geography student, you should always imagine world like this. What is this? This part of the region. See, your Himalayas are here, but this is Tibetan Plateau. ऐसा लग रहा है ना दुनिया का टेबल है ये. This is the table, right? This is also called as tableland. Now this is at a height of, average height जो है, it is at 4 kilometers height. 4 kilometers above the sea level. If you compare from the northern plains is the Uttar Pradesh, and when you look at the average height of the Tibet, it is 4 kilometers ki unchai. For example, if this is the Tibet, imagine this is the Tibet, and this is the Uttar Pradesh area. Imagine the difference between the height is 4.5 kilometers, 4 to 4.5. Now badal, clouds, when they are moving, they go and hit. They have to rise, then they have to go. Ab aap dekho, you have two different heights. Sunlight falling on this area, sunlight falling on this area. The intensity of heat will be different in these two areas. So when the Tibet heats, ये heat engine of the earth है. गरम इतना गरम होता है, it will turn as a low pressure. So you need to understand this topography, and also you need to understand why monsoons do not go to China. Monsoons are always stopped at the Himalayas. We have to pray to our Himalayas because Himalayas help in giving rainfall to India. Likewise, you see, Indian geography will be learning in very detail about the entire topography. This is the northeast. Okay? Our entire northeast looks like this. And this is the area where the Brahmaputra flows. So we have to understand Brahmaputra, why is it leading to floods? Okay? Because this Brahmaputra river starts its journey somewhere here and enters to India like this. So China, it constructs many dams, and it will not tell overnight they lift the gates. Poor people who are residing in and around, every year they get to see the floods. For suppose China is telling us, आज रात को मैं ये gate खोलने वाला हूँ, and this I am going to open the gate. Water sharing agreement होना चाहिए, water sharing information agreement होना चाहिए इंडिया चाइना के बीच में. Due to the border tensions, China will not tell how much amount of water is being released. So the very next day, you see the water coming in and the flooding takes place. Crops are being lost, animals are getting submerged. So Brahmaputra is a sorrow to the northeast. Basically, it gives very good water, no doubt, but it has too many branches, anabranching. Anabranching means, see, I'll also show you the Brahmaputra here. I'll take you to India and look into this northeast. दूर से देखने में it looks like a one stream. But if I go zoom in, how many streams are there? If you have many streams and these streams are coming back and joining here again, ठीक है? Multiple streams and they are coming back and joining here again. This is called as unbranching. Now see, if I zoom in little more, what are these? Settlements. And look, these settlements are also present here. If China is not telling that how much amount of water it is going to release, floodings, submergence, and India has to pay that price. So basically you need to understand the topography also. When you understand the topography, things will become easy for you to understand. Okay? So this is the topography. And here settlement pattern also you need to understand. So, कुछ ऐसे settlements होता है, there can be settlements in this manner. You look into the Chandigarh as an area. I always ask this question, why Chandigarh do not have buildings more than 2 floors? Because population is too high in Chandigarh. They do not want more people to come into Chandigarh. Okay? Because when Chandigarh as a planned city is formed, it is only planned for 50,000 people. Later they increase the population to 2.5 lakh. And today, the Chandigarh as a city is put a ceiling at 5 lakh. Okay? So, what the government has done in Chandigarh is that they said, you are not supposed to construct not more than 2 floors. They put a ceiling. Now, when they have put a ceiling, anyone who is coming into the city, they have to live in the 2 floors itself. If the government has given an open opportunity that you can construct multiple floors, then सबके पास पैसा होगा या बैंक लोन लेंगे and then they'll start to construct. When they start to construct 2 more floors, more people will come into Chandigarh and the Chandigarh will become another Delhi. Parking problem होगा, drinking water issues, traveling issues, and you need a metro as well as every kind of urban problem you think of, you will see. So that's why settlements you have to study. And more often I show to make things easier for you. A practical example is that you go to the Delhi, how settlement is important for you. Settlements are very, very important. It is because, broadly speaking, I'll show you a planned settlement and also an unplanned settlement. See, look here. Look at this area, how beautiful it looks, neatly laid roads. And zoom karo, there's good amount of trees, vegetation, and also constructions. This is planned. But this is exactly the planned city of New Delhi. But I'll take you few kilometers away from here. Okay? This is an unplanned area. Okay? What is the fundamental difference between that planned city and this unplanned city? Parking problems होगा? Overcrowding? होगा. Mentally stressed होगा. Drainage, leakage हो सकता है. Right? Next, चोरी हो सकता है. और stressed environment होगा. Right? Yes. These are nucleated settlements which are unplanned in nature. Now, it is your duty to understand what are the problems in a planned area and what are the problems that you get to see in an unplanned area. Ultimately, everyone wants to live in a city which is very well planned. So, it is blissful that you are staying in Chandigarh, but go to the New Delhi and a few kilometers away from New Delhi, you will see a different lifestyle there. Now, this is the problem of settlement that you need to understand. ठीक है, इंडिया में कई तरह सेटलमेंट्स होता है. नाउ दिस इज व्हाट इज सेटलमेंट ज्योग्राफी. इन सिंपल टर्म्स, व्हाट इज ए स्लम? हाउ डू यू डिफाइन इट? ए स्लम इज नो प्रॉपर ड्रेनेज फैसिलिटीज, concretized but no sewage facilities. ठीक है? जितने भी फैसिलिटीज होगा वो हाफ हजार्ड मैनर में होगा, रेंजिंग फ्रॉम सैनिटेशन टू फूड, नो वेजिटेशन, ट्री पेड़ कुछ भी नहीं है, राइट? ड्रिंकिंग वाटर प्रॉब्लम, कॉन्क्रिटाइजेशन, इफ देर इज रेनफॉल विल इट सिंक? नो, इट विल लीड टू फ्लड्स. बट let me take back you to the same area, which is again a planned city of New Delhi. Look at this planned city, how well it is planned. If there is rainfall, it will sink in, no flooding problem, parking apna khud ka ghar ke andar hoga. Now this is what everyone needs. Now we have to understand the difference between this and this. They are just few kilometers away, right? So hame ye samajhna hoga, and all of this we need to लुक इनटू विथ ए पर्सपेक्टिव. ठीक है, एग्जामिनर को हमें यह दिखाना होगा, भाई साहब आई नो बेटर देन यू, वॉट एवर आई एम गोइंग टू राइट यू हैव टू गिव मी मार्क्स, एटलीस्ट गिव मी 1 mark मोर देन वॉट यू हैव गिवन टू द प्रीवियस पेपर, राइट? बिकॉज वी आर इन ए कंपिटेटिव मैनर, राइट? विल बी राइटिंग एग्जाम्पल्स. आपको लिखना होगा धारावी एग्जाम्पल, यू हैव टू राइट प्लैंड सिटीज इन इंडिया सच एज भोपाल, सॉरी इंदौर, चंडीगढ़, गांधीनगर, डिस्पुर, अमरावती. That is the newly built capital of Andhra Pradesh earlier, when now they are declaring Vizag as their capital. But at least 5 examples if you have, you will have the best marks. So this is what is settlement geography. Now when it comes to economic geography, see, you just need to imagine what are the resources that they will be using, and what are the resources that they shall be using. One who is living in a planned area, one who is living in an unplanned area. So ये सारे चीज हमें देखना होगा, right? So geography is one such subject where you shall be trying to understand the natural elements, air, water, landforms, with that of the artificial elements like roads, constructions. In दोनों के बीच में how is the human present there? So look here, and one more aspect is that population. See, दुनिया का सबसे ज्यादा population जो है, it is always across the coastlines. Look at Australia. You have the population on the coastal area. Likewise, I'll take you to New Zealand. Coastal area में सबसे ज़्यादा population है. But come to India. India is one such area. You will find all the spikes. तो दुनिया में first है अपन, पता है ना? हाँ, population में we bet even China also. We are the number 1, right? Every year we produce a new Australia. Whatever is the population of Australia, we are going to add that much amount of population to India every year. So we are pros in this manner. Now look at the spikes here. These spikes are primarily because of Ganga river. Look at this, Pakistan. Indus river. मतलब कहीं ना कहीं we are taking the river physical aspect and trying to study why humans are living there. So in fact we are studying this earth as a home to human beings. ह्यूमन ज्योग्राफी जो है, अब तब भी अप्रिशिएट कर पाओगे जब व्हेन यू हैव द अंडरस्टैंडिंग्स ऑफ फिजिकल ज्योग्राफी. सो दिस सब्जेक्ट नीड टू बी स्टडीड इन सच ए वे, वॉट एवर इज द बुक्स दैट आर रिटन, आई ऑलवेज कोल्ड समवन हु हैज रिटन दिस एनसीईआरटी बुक. आई ऑलवेज फील दैट 2 पेग डाल के ये बुक बनाया, ठीक है, मे बी रात को दे माइट हैव सैड, चलो ये लिख लेते, चलो वो लिख लेते, दैट टफ दे हैव रिटन दिस बुक. बट आई विल मेक थिंग्स इजियर फॉर यू इन दिस क्लासरूम. ऑल आई रिक्वेस्ट इज नॉन एब्सेंस ऑफ योर, ठीक है, एब्सेंट नहीं होना चाहिए क्लास में. अगर एब्सेंट हुआ तो पहले ही देख के आना है, ठीक है, क्लास 2x पे देख के आ जाओ, मुझे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, बट यू नीड टू लर्न द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. फॉर द फर्स्ट 2 days यू विल फाइंड लिटिल डिफिकल्टी. चले यार, व्हाट इज दिस टॉपिक, व्हाट इज दैट टॉपिक, यू माइट फाइंड लिटिल डिफिकल्टी, बट प्लीज बी पेशेंट. After 5 days, you will feel very comfortable, because geography is one such subject. I already told you that today you are going to learn something, and tomorrow you will get clarity. And whatever you are going to learn tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you will get clarity. So first 1 week is little clumsy here and there. Be patient. After 1 week, you will enjoy these classes like anything, right? Yes, he says Indus Valley civilization is near to Indus. Look at this Ganga river, highest density of population. Again, historically socho, look at this Kolkata, so much of population. Come to Madras, Chennai, high population, Bangalore, high population, Mumbai, and see here, this is Hyderabad. ठीक है, But why is there not much population present in the central part of India? Why are these gaps? Mountains. Vindhyas, ठीक है? You might have Vindhya, Himachala, Yamuna, Ganga. These Vindhyas are nothing but there are mountains which are present here. Vindhyas and Satpuras. दो mountain ranges यहाँ पे present है. तो our settlements are also related with one or the other topographies. You need to learn these topographies. Look at US. The western part of US, no population. The eastern part, सबसे ज़्यादा. Why? After climatology, you will only tell me. I'll show you these photos again. You will tell me why the population is absent there. And Australia also. And when you look into your questions of previous year, देखो, most of the questions come from NCERTs itself. This is a 2019 question. Where do you find? Class 6 NCERT. 2019, again, class 11 NCERT. 2018 question. Where do you find? Class 11 NCERT. 17 में एक prelims question है, again class 10 NCERT. 17, one more question. I did not add the 23rd, 2023 and 2022 questions, but I'll bring it in the further classes. Class 10 NCERT. Again, 2016, there was a prelims question where class 11 NCERT, along with the page numbers I'm trying to show it to you. So the significance of the NCERTs is too high. You need not do PhD and other books. Just word to word you should know in NCERT. Likewise, every year you will find some questions in NCERTs. Out of 10, 6 will be from NCERT, 4 will be from current affairs related questions. Right? So broadly, all these things you will find in NCERT itself. You need not go and read anything new. And when it comes to the chapters again, see here. Geomorphology, you got to know what is earth hai, whatever is there on the surface of the earth, how did this form? For that reasons, you have to go into the interior of the earth. In the climate, you learn everything that is there in the air. ठीक है? Oceanography, in the water. When it comes to biogeography, मिट्टी के बारे में पढ़ते हो, soil. Environmental geography is nothing but your subject called environment. You will understand environment in a far better manner when you understand geography. ठीक है? So, you will be enlightened with environment when you learn geography. So, environment is also part of geography itself. Right? So, that's why geography and environment are studied together. Now, population, you got to learn an idea. Right? Natural and human resources, you have an idea now. Lastly, economic geography is nothing but an amalgamation of all of these things. Now, this is what is geography. ठीक है? This particular subject, if someone is going to study in detail, definitely prelims and mains में high scores होंगे. Right? So please take this subject very, very seriously. चाहे I don't mind about other subjects, but this subject you should never miss it. Concepts है, एक बार पढ़ लो, बाद में पढ़ने की जरूरत भी नहीं है. You read just once, understand it, then you will remember it for your eternal lifetime. Because it is a logical subject. ठीक है? Logics के साथ पढ़ेंगे अपन. Right? So we'll stop it here and tomorrow we'll continue. Right? Tomorrow we'll start with origin and evolution of the earth and the universe. I'll start with how did the earth form, how did the stars form, how did the other celestial bodies which are there, they are formed. We'll learn about certain planets, asteroids, meteoroids, ये सब चीजें क्या होता है. थोड़ा सा alien subject की तरह होगा कल वाला class, but please do not miss that. Try to read from the NCERT book. ठीक है? This is the book. इस book में second chapter पढ़ के आना है आपको. ठीक है? सेकेंड या यूनिट 2. ठीक है? यूनिट 2 में फर्स्ट चैप्टर नंबर 2 पढ़ के आना है. राइट? थैंक यू एंड सी यू टुमारो. थैंक यू ऑनलाइन. थैंक यू रूपांशी सिंगला, निधि, एकता, सलोनी, सुरची. Thank you. Yes.